News Review segment, and I've been joined this morning by my guests, but I'm going to introduce them shortly. Let me just give you the rundown of what we're going to be discussing this morning. We're looking at the passport application fees. Foreign Affairs Ministry proposes an increase from 100 Ghana cedis to 644 Ghana cedis. Then mining in forest reserves, the minority backs calls for revocation of LI 2462 by CSO. Then we also have district level elections. NALAG reiterates calls for politicization of polls. Okay, and so that's what we're going to be looking at this morning. My guests are seated. I have in studio Jeffrey Kabuteo-Kansi. He is the Executive Director of Revenue Mobilization Africa, and Mr. Mensah Thompson. He is the Executive Director of Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability. I want to say good morning to both gentlemen. Gentlemen, you're both welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
We're good.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Kabute?
Yeah, it's a good morning again, and the freshest married man here on the studio. He looks so good now.
Yeah. No, I mean, as I'm looking at him, I can almost not believe it's
the bells are still ringing
person.
on him. Yeah,
he's looking very fresh.
He's so taken.
Very put together.
The young man is so taken.
Yeah.
He's so not available.
Yeah. No, but you see, earlier when you were saying that he's married but available.
Oh, but there was a nice song. You know that song, that Nigerian song?
Which one?
I'm not available. They know they see me. That song, are you?
Are you available?
No, I'm not available.
Okay.
So he's so taken. He's so taken. See, sometimes in life, some people get to.
Charlie, but you don't marry for Ghana.
Yeah, the guy take the thing, run away, go this away. You have to cross rivers, climb mountains, walk through valleys to get to where he married, actually. So you need to walk a haul, you know. Yeah. That's good.
And his wife is not Ghanaian, no?
Look at his ring.
No, his wife is not Ghanaian, no?
So perfect. Yeah.
His wife is not Ghanaian.
He went, on a scout.
No,
he's an African man.
He has an eclectic taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
A real survivor.
Yeah.
A scavenger for love, you know. Yo. Look.
Okay,
Ghana
guys.
is celebrating you. You took the country to the next level.
He believes in Osajefu's dream.
Yes.
United Africa.
Let's
marry ourselves.
The independence and love for Ghana can't be complete until it is actually totally linked to it. You know, so he's linking the love aspect of it. That's good. That's how you did well. You did well for yourself. This is for God and country. Yeah. God says we should marry. Yeah. The country means that we should also explore and be united with other African states. And you have done that on behalf of our country. We'll be there with you.
Anyway, I've never seen Mensah Thompson this quiet.
Yes, I'm wondering. I mean, the man is so love-fetched. I mean, love has just fetched him into a well.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, guys, let's get right into the stories for this morning. I want to read to you an article from citinewsroom.com. We have here, it says, Foreign Affairs Ministry wants passport fees increased from 100 Ghana cedis to 644 Ghana cedis. Now, it goes on to say here, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration is seeking to increase the amount Ghanaians pay to secure passports from 100 Ghana cedis to 644 Ghana cedis. Now, this information was disclosed by the Sector Minister, Shirley Ayoko-Botry, in an interview with Graphic Online. And I quote, Ghanaians pay just about 100 Ghana cedis for a passport. To produce one passport booklet, it costs 400 Ghana cedis, which means that for every passport that an applicant acquires, the government has to put in 300 Ghana cedis, and this is not sustainable, she says. She explained that the deficit in the printing of the passport booklets was preventing the necessary investment in the passport office. Now, speaking on the floor of Parliament before the approval of a 1.127 million Ghana cedi budget estimate for her ministry, Ayoko-Botry noted that the proposal is currently being considered by the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation. All right, now it goes on to say, on the cost of passports, it's not sustainable. Therefore, I will plead this Honorable House to look at the issue for us. It's already before the subsidiary committee, and I'm hoping the Ghanaians will pay realistic prices for passports. At the moment, passports do not serve as IDs. We have national ID cards. Therefore, those who need passports are those who need them to travel. And I don't think that if they want us to continue to subsidize it, All right. And so the story goes on there. Let me start with Mr. Thompson on this matter. What do you make of this issue?
Yes, thank you very much. A very good morning to our cherished viewers. And
to your lovely wife.
Yes, and a very good morning to my lovely wife, Grace, and also to all the people who traveled with me to support me. I just want to say a very big thank you to all of them, and also to you. I know you guys were with us in spirit, so we want to say thank you for that as well. I've been away for 2 weeks, and so I've been following, events in the country, especially the famous lithium deal, which we were discussing this morning. But I think we'll find a way to discuss that in the second topic. But on the issue of passports, for me, I find the minister's comments rather reckless, especially when passports are national documents. Once you're a Ghanaian citizen, you are entitled to be registered by the birth and death registry. You are entitled to have access to national services such as a passport, national IDs, and all forms of document that the country provides that identifies you as a Ghanaian. So Ghanaians are entitled to that. Now, the issue about whether government should continue to subsidize it or not is not even up for question, because we live in a country where we have a minimum wage. And so because public services, delivery of public goods and services must be aligned with the public wage regime that we have, if you look at the current minimum wage and the fact that every Ghanaian is entitled to have a passport, then it makes sense that government continue to subsidize some of these things and to provide support for people to be able to acquire these things. But for a minister to sit back and say, it's only people who want to travel should acquire a passport. and so Ghanaians should wait. When they have the opportunity to travel, if I have to travel tomorrow, then today I go to the passport registry and go and apply for a passport.
But is that what she was saying?
But that's what she's saying. She's saying that only people who want to travel should apply for the passport.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the essence of it is that you only need it for traveling purposes outside of Ghana.
Of course.
Yes.
That is the purpose of a passport.
Yes.
She doesn't have to tell us. We know that passports are meant to travel.
Yes, but if you're going to travel outside the country, I mean, your ticket will cost you nothing less. It doesn't matter where you're going. Your ticket is going to cost you nothing less than $800 US. So in that case,
that is not an argument.
No, I think it's a fair argument.
It's not it's not a fair argument to make, because the airlines are private entities delivering private services.
Yes.
The passport office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a national office delivering public service.
Yes.
The two are not the same. One is a profit-making entity, one is not.
Yes.
We pay taxes to one, we do not pay taxes to the other.
Okay.
And so if you say that because air tickets are exorbitant, and so if you have to travel, you have to buy expensive air ticket, and for that matter, your acquisition of passport must also be equally expensive. You are not making a very, very rational argument in the interest of the Ghanaian who pay taxes to you. Okay. Because the purpose of taxes is so that government will be able to subsidize some of these essential services for us. That is the purpose of tax. And so the minister cannot tell us that even though we need a passport, we should wait. Only when we want to travel, then we can apply for it. And then if 100,000, 1 million people want to travel in one particular month, and they apply for a passport, what sort of pressure are you going to put on the passport service in the delivery of the passport services?
No, but she didn't say that only when you are going to travel that you should apply for one.
She says we don't have to. Now we have a national ID.
Yes.
So we don't need passport for identification.
True.
So we should wait till when we are traveling. We only need a passport to travel. So we should wait when we are traveling to buy a passport. Very, very reckless for a Minister of Foreign Affairs who understands that some of these public services, they are essential public service. The public is entitled to these services. And so to say that, wait, only when you want to travel then you can apply for that.
Do you think that the 100 Ghana cedis that we're paying for passports is adequate?
It is adequate.
Really?
It is adequate if you put in perspective the myriad of taxes we are paying. It is adequate. We are not paying the 100 cedis in isolation.
Okay.
When you buy fuel, you pay 17 different taxes. Part of that taxes should be used to subsidize your acquisition of a passport. You are not asking for much.
Okay.
And so,
but the driver's license is like upwards of 300 Ghana cedis.
it doesn't matter.
And that's also
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
a
matter.
national document.
It is.
Yes.
It is. But the point is that all these things come into a delivery of into a basket called public service. The fact that one is higher than the other does not mean that we should drag the other upwards the same way. And for me, if you ask me, instead of making the argument that passport should be increased to the level of a driver's license, we should be advocating for driver's license to come down.
Really?
Because they are essential public service. We don't want people to be driving on the streets without driver's licenses. We don't want people to be causing chaos on the streets. So the regulatory regimes that provide some of these services should be subsidized, should be made cheaper, affordable, and accessible. We are not asking for much. Especially in the myriad of all the taxes that we are paying.
But driving a vehicle is not a prerequisite to anything in the country. I mean, we have public transportation.
No, I'm saying that.
So
yes,
if you want to get a driver's license, you must pay what is fair.
But people still drive without a driver's license, and that is what we want to discourage.
Oh, but I think that's a separate problem.
Yes, but we want to discourage that because it is the people who drive without some of these licenses that creates the problems on our roads. And so you want to encourage, compliance. You want to encourage safety on our roads. You want people to go through the right processes to be able to, drive on our roads. So you don't make the processes cumbersome, inaccessible, and expensive so that people have the excuse to say, yes, of course, I wanted to have a license, but I can't afford the process. Even the 300 cedis that we pay, that is just the official fees. We know the extra illegal fees people have to pay to be able to acquire these national documents.
Yeah.
And I think that,
Anyway,
I think that instead of government thinking about these processes and how not to subsidize it, they should be thinking about how to streamline the access of these essential public services and remove the middlemen. Even to get a passport, after paying these 100 cedis, you are not done. That's the official fees government is charging you.
yeah.
People have to pay sometimes 1,000, 2,000 cedis to people.
Yeah, but those are illegal fees. And it shouldn't happen.
But who is creating this illegal situation? Who is creating the situation for middlemen to now come and profit from it?
I don't think that's a fair comment that you're making because you're asking a question as though government itself is creating a situation like that. I have acquired a passport recently and went through the process. I don't think I went beyond 350 Ghana cedis or so maximum, including fast track service, which happens at the premium center.
That is what I'm saying.
Do you understand?
That's what I'm saying.
So this business of people paying 2,000 and the rest, that's just also Ghanaians doing their own thing.
That you see, this is this very simple issue. The passport office is run by government.
Yeah.
The driver's license office, DVLA, is run by government. There are people who have turned themselves into merchants.
Yes.
In the middle. Now, in the introduction of these online application and paperless and digital processes, the whole concept was to eliminate
the
these middlemen. We've spent huge sums of money into digital infrastructure to make this process easier and eliminate the middlemen, and still the middlemen exist. And you say we can't hold government responsible for that.
Oh, we should.
And that's the point I'm making.
But I'm just saying that it shouldn't affect the fee rationale. That's what we're talking about.
It should because if you eliminate these cumbersome expenses that people have to pay illegally, even if 5% of that additional charge is added to the fees government is charging, government will earn more, won't it?
Of course.
But the money we pay to these middlemen to acquire the passport is even more than what we pay to the government.
By far.
And that is why I say that if the government is a little more efficient in eliminating these middlemen, then it is easy to ask Ghanaians to pay a little bit more because you provided a little more efficiency, you've reduced the stress they have to go through. You've reduced the middlemen and the extra charges they will have to pay, albeit illegal, for them to get the process easier. That is the conversation we need to be having when it comes to this passport, and not to take away the subsidies, and not to tell us that we should sit down home when we want to travel and we can go and queue for a passport.
Fair enough. Jeffrey,
yeah, so
what are your thoughts on this?
For the increase of the cost of acquiring the passport, that will come with reviewed acquisition processes, and then also a total improved services if we are going to get that. However, the cost must be very sensitive to the current economic issues that we are going through. And also we should make it much progressive as we go forward. So, of course, you know, like the minister is trying to say, if you are in dire need, our systems are not well planned. It goes so far that 2 people want to go to Makola in Ghana here. Someone do not need to go very early in the morning, but because of the rush and the insecure transport systems, they all rush to the station at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we have a problem. All I'm saying is that maybe that the minister is trying to say that if you don't need the passport now, maybe you can stay in a queue. But we can all correct this things if you go through this process I'm talking about. You have to improve the process to make it stress-free. 2, that you have to segregate the services to make it very cost progressive. Somebody wants to see, we have 2 groups. There are new applicants and there are those who are going for renewals. If you do it so well, there's somebody who wants to sit in the comfort of their home. Somebody who is already coming for has a problem, a passport, and you have their detail already. So they can, online filling and everything else, they can be premium. And they are ready to pay more. Like my brother is telling you, if you make
people are already paying 3,000 anyway.
And I mean, there's some class.
Yes.
That they want to sit in the premium
and receive
and they can pay 3,000 or 4,000. And if you explain it well and you do your marketing well, look, banks, insurance companies, even in the absence of accidents, are marketing so well, people are insuring.
Yeah.
So why don't you, the passport is a good service. So if 2,000, they will pay. They want to stay in the comfort of their homes and the passport will be delivered.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that let's explore those ones. What you do is that you are not for profit, but you are going to be using those monies to come and subsidize the cost for these other people who will be able to just pay 100 or 200.
Yeah.
So while at that, security should be important. I mean, because this is a very delicate document, so you should ensure that it's secured. We have to accelerate the processes and ensure that, look, this middleman, when he did so well, this clearing of this middleman is so easy.
Yeah.
You can do it. Now the institutional collaborations, Passport Office, NIA, they should be working together such that with a good NIA system, by the time I get to the age of 18 years, even the Passport Office working with NIA should know who Ghanaians who are getting to the age of 18. They can even make a call or reach you by a text message to tell you are qualified to have a Ghanaian passport. You know, so if they do their things well, I mean, they work well as collaborative institutions, they can work forward. Now look at the way forward. Look, the cost increase, this is my view. I think realistically, 100% increase to 200 cedis will be realistic across board. Now, however, you should make special services available, especially for existing holders of the passport. So that if you are doing this, you raise them in grades. Let's say grade 1, like they have the premium center and all the, even in the premium center, I'm saying, let's have about 3 grades. Those who are actually in the heat of, maybe I might travel, so I want to renew it and put it down. Honesty is very key on the part of the Ghanaian users as well. Please, sometimes don't create the rush and the panic. Some people don't need to travel right now, but they also just create panic. You know, just watch it very well. If you need it in about 3 months' time, go early, put it right. I know that I'm not speaking for the Passport Office. I'm speaking because I'm a Ghanaian and you know our attitude. You can even put a table here to issue passports. People will want, in a 1-week thing, they'll come from Thursday to Friday and they'll create that queue. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, few people there.
Yeah, but
so,
Captain, don't you think that if the Passport Office run in a similar way to what's happening at the DVLA, for example, the DVLA Premium Center, I've never, in the last 2-3 years, I've not gone there and found crowds as you would at the previous 37 place.
See how easy you've made it.
It's
another
simple.
Government institution, running a similar thing is another issuance, like I've rightly said just now. I mean, collaboration, learning from institutions, you know, You'll be surprised. Ghanaian institutions, sometimes the posturing. I mean, learn from one another. Yeah. And you see, it's a government institution. Like he's saying, look, you can do it so well, such that you eliminate, they should be working on one board, okay, to have this digital platform where, look, the digital center was put over there for a purpose. Yeah. And all these people are going to be using that center. So they should come together. That institutional collaboration is key. At the end of the day, all I want to see is that, look, let us all agree on an amount and give. Let's make sure that when people apply, 3-grade approach, those who are new applicants, when the collaboration between the NIA and the passport office is so effective, you even have to be sitting in your house and receive a text message that you are qualified to start your processes. Yeah. So that we can clear all those backlogs out of the system. Now, those who need it emergency, a little fee. Look, like you rightly said, somebody who is traveling on an emergency goes to pay 1,000 or 1,500. Let us not play any ostrich here. I'm saying it on national TV. You know the truth. The minister has said it before, that the clearing of the Grow Boys. We knew it. We didn't hide it. That's how come we were able to clear ourselves of the pain, that's funny processes, the problems from the DVLA. Some time ago, you remember, the Grow Boys will be everywhere there. We saw them. Yeah. We can't hide it. When we did it right, we solved it, we healed ourselves of the pain. It is there. It is not a call that Grow Boys should go home and not chop. But I'm saying, if you do it so well, they might find themselves in some way in a process where you have them being people who would have a center and they will process these people, their forms, they will assist them to process the forms, and then come with the forms as agents. You know, like, insurance, we have agents who work for the insurance companies. Yeah. Put such a process down so the Grow Boys will be properly
it's like it's part of a system.
Exactly.
And they are also given the opportunity to also make some gain.
Some kicks, you know.
Some income, yeah.
At every point in time, there will be some people who will need people to go and do certain things for them. So if you train these Grow Boys and give them some good training, they will go to offices and places and market their trade. That those, do you want to renew your passport? Come to me. I'll take you to the process. I take them. They will do it. At the last point, maybe there will be a virtual call, and then you answer some questions. So the interviewing officer will see you, and they know this is the picture I'm seeing in front of me. All these things will create some jobs. In a span of it, this discussion about the night and dawn economy I spoke about, and then the 24-hour economy we are talking about, why can't you issue a passport in the 24-hour economic space? Why can't I apply and then start, a relationship officer speaks with me, he prepares me in a 24-hour span. You can do this service all through the day, run it. People will get jobs, they'll go to work and come back home. Yeah. So this is another reason why we should be running our economy to the full base and ensure that, look, people can get their passport, all the backlogs, clear all of them in just that 24-hour period. Make sure interviews, those who are going to submit their forms. Look, courier services. You remember those times, graphic and those things, they used to go by motto at dawn. Yes. Do those ones. You've processed the forms. It gets to the Grow Boys who have their offices. Clear all these things. When you do that, people will be willing to pay more. Look, there was a survey by CDD that I fell in love with. About 80% of Ghanaians are ready to pay more taxes. But there's an if things will be improved. Look, if people are able to pay 500,000 cedis, 1,005, as you and I know, for Grow Boys to go and do a passport for them, a discussion for them to pay 300 or 500, and they know that they can renew. I feel and then somebody calls me from the service center. We realized that 5 minutes ago you had failed to renew your passport. Please go, your nearest center you can go is this. An automatic system tells me where I can go for. I go there and I meet a gentleman as nicely dressed as you are, talking to me well, offering me a cup of tea. Look, my brother, countries are going and they are going through good services. I get there, there's cocoa, there's rice, there's kenke. It's like a party for me. I'm waiting, and it's part of the payment I paid. Look, you are creating jobs for the restaurants and things because the center can run fully. I pay 500 cedis. I get to sit down quietly. Somebody is processing my passport. A young man comes, speaks to me. The young lady comes, issues me my passport, says, "Sir, you have 10 minutes to go to the other room, go through the passport. If there's a mistake, if there's no mistake, there's a transport service available. And it's all part of what was charged. We'll put you at the circle point, and then you can continue from there." My brother, I have paid 300 for my main passport. 200 cedis has given me food, dropped me at a point. That is what we call collaborated service for that customer to smile.
Yeah.
So if you can do all these, it takes planning, my brother. It takes planning for an airline to be giving you the opportunity. You check in online. You can even choose the seat you want. All these things.
All those things.
Some time ago, people were in the queue.
Yeah.
You are allotted a seat. You have to negotiate it over there. Somebody sat back, used their head, planned well, and the world's problem is being solved. How come today I sit here with a phone? I can text somebody, and things can move.
Yeah.
Let us move to the next line. Thank you.
All right. Okay.